Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Boy, are we working hard or what?
we actually are. Yeah, we're not. I wouldn't say it's fair to say that we're hardly working, unless it's just the fact that you're doing what you love, so it's
Yeah,
not work.
that's a blessing.
It is. It is. So yeah, we've been jamming, which is great. It's wonderful to be able to affect the world in a positive way.
And to find your groove in life and to be able to stick with it and expand it when you get there.
Yeah, I never even know what time it is. I just looked, and as we're doing this, it's 7:06. So, yeah, we've been going, most of our days they're just really full days, but that's great. So you see up in front here, shift to a parallel reality. Do you think it's a possibility?
I know it's a possibility.
She knows.
I do. It's that inner knowing that you've seen enough things enough times, had enough experiences that you can shift it when you need to shift it.
Yeah, I swear, twice in my life, I went to bed in one reality and then woke up to another reality in which major events hadn't occurred that were huge. They were, life-changing events. And it's like, what was it just a dream? No, I know it wasn't a dream. I really do feel like I've timeline jumped. And, that's a fascinating thing, but we live in this matrix. This is a matrix, and this is all about consciousness.
It is, and it's really fun that we get to explore it together. And gosh, it's a great time to be a human right now because there's so many neat things that are coming into play that we get to experience and explore.
Yes, there is. And so we got a message from Laurel, who both is a messenger of the Galactic Federation, so to speak, and the Pleiadian High Council. And so she came through, and originally we talked about this on a video that we didn't think we'd have a problem putting up on YT, but then it went red. As soon as I was uploading it, it just basically said, wouldn't be able to be monetized, period. And it gave me such a feel of, oh, I better not do this here, because of course they'll do whatever they want to do. So instead of putting it on YT, we only put it on Bitchute and Brighteon. So, and it's up on Patreon and Ko-Fi. So you guys can check it out from any of those sources, just not YT, which it is what it is. And it's getting pretty obvious what it is at the same time.
It is. So things are just moving along at such a fast rate and changing so quickly. I'm glad we have a way to kind of keep track.
Yeah, and we've been getting a lot of people in, from Brighteon mostly, really saying that they've been following us on Brighteon a while. So the links are always on every single video to all the channels, just so you guys know. So I'm going to play for you what we got, and this time I did reach the phone in time to tape record it. So this is from Laurel, again from the Galactic Federation, and also the Pleiadian High Council. Timelines are shifting.
We want to come through and say thank you for assisting and shifting this most recent timeline to a more positive outcome. This would not have happened without the help of you and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of others, hundreds of thousands of other people shifting their energy for a more positive outcome. This is one of many battles we are going to help win to make it through this change in our time.
Well, thank you for sharing, Laurel. It seems that there are some forces out there, some that are trying to paint the Galactic Federation in a negative light. Is this the case?
One thing that we always watch out for is these forces of disinformation to create confusion and chaos. This is why we teach you the most important thing to do is to follow your heart.
Follow that intuitive knowing and follow the feelings, what things feel like.
That's the most important thing you can do, and teaching people how to do that for themselves, not necessarily follow another's teaching all the time, but teach others to find their own way. This is the new way.
That's what we were having a discussion with a friend about, how the old way was the way of systems and forms, and this is going to be a time of a more intuitive time, using your own inner guidance and your own inner vision.
Learning this is going to be new to many people, but for every one person you teach to follow their own intuition, they'll teach many, many others, and through this we will change the vibration of Earth. She will go higher in vibration much faster at a much easier pace.
We are finding that when we contact people, as we've been blessed with being very, very busy with helping people with energy work, spiritual coaching, Vedic charts, and the like, that they're sensing us before we even call them. They're sensing our energies, and even already starting to go through a healing process, sometimes 15 minutes or even an hour before we start working on them. This is a sign of those accelerated ascension energies coming in.
This is what you can expect with the raising of the vibration. The healing starts before the healing, but now people are going to see a marked difference, a huge change in the way healings happen. They will see synchronicities move into place in their life that help them follow their own direction. It will be made clear to them.
As we have been in the habit, when the weather allows, to get out and do our meditation and mantras in the morning in the sun, and allow as much exposure to the sun to hit our skin, consciously taking in the energy from the sun, knowing it's changing our DNA. Would you recommend this for others as well?
People need to find those pockets of sunshine in the daytime, minimum of 10 minutes, to get the light on your face to assist in the rearranging of your DNA and the raising of your vibration.
One of the things that I think we have to be aware of is controlling our emotions, because we're going to be able to manifest anything much quicker. And so it's going to be a challenge for many to keep a positive frame of mind and to not allow negative thoughts and self-destructive thoughts to enter. Would you agree?
People are going to notice when they send a certain emotion out into the universe. They'll get evidence that it has an effect. And this is how people will slowly change their ways and watch their thought forms and do not wish harm upon others. The stronger your energy, the more it affects you. Can you wake the channel?
So that was from Laurel there.
Yeah, that's really nice. I was kind of getting these chills listening to it. When I do channel, she kind of gives me like this auric hug. So that's always really comforting. But that's really nice just to hear that confirmation. It feels good.
There are many starseeds on the planet. There are many, light workers on the planet. And, there's other people, like Laurel is assigned to Cindy and I. But there's other people from the Galactic Federation that are assigned to other people. And it was interesting enough, I don't know if Cindy even remembers, but we got the information that there's 12 couples. We're part of 12 couples that are like an energetic experiment that have been brought together because of like their natural abilities, tendencies, and their past life experiences as well, to be placed in certain locations to hold the light and the vibrations. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that, but I am aware, and what I do feel is true is that everybody is strategically placed. People who are light anchors are strategically placed to anchor their light in that form wherever they're at. So when the ascension is happening, you're lifting, you're helping with that ascension.
Yeah, and there's many that are here walking the earth right now that have had past lives, even as part of the Galactic Federation. And so, that's where this knowing your mission comes in, because, if you could tap into that current, then you know that this is why I came here. And that knowing, that gnosis, which is an energetic vibration, it's a feeling, that is key. And, in order to get to understand and feel and know this, you have to just take the time to develop that inner spiritual practice.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally worth it. And I think that's the new way of things, because as they clamp down on a 3D level, things need to, they say when God closes one door, opens another. And I think energetically, that's where the door is opening, and then we're getting to explore and learn how to use these energies.
Yes, so there's so much that can be done. And part of their programming, part of the way they have created this matrix in such a manner that we kind of keep ourselves boxed in it in many ways, through the division and through that, the left-right paradigm in so many ways, as well as others. It's giving us limiting beliefs. It's giving us, in many cases, prophecies that they say, are unavoidable. Getting us to think it's God's will that we must be punished. When no, it's actually part of the programming of this system of control that's in there, in order to get us to be thinking all the time, feeling all the time that these things have to come and have to pass. Like, the system that we're in does have to pass, but the manner in which it passes is still up, for discussion.
That's absolutely right. When there's a destiny, when one follows their destiny, they're given certain tools to reach that destiny. But, it depends on how you which paths that you want to take. But the whole thing is that you reach the destiny. It's just, how do you want to do it? What do you want that to look like? And we have a choice there.
We do. When we look at, quantum physics, we discover that everything is potential. It's potential. And if you look at the Bible, it's the Word. It's the Word is what is the manifesting power. Again, it's all about intention. It's all about vibration and feelings. And, we can't change things. We can nudge things. We're always nudging things. There's a huge battle going on here, a multi-dimensional battle. And, what is spiritual but simply, other higher dimensions and lower dimensions in some ways too. This was sent in by one of our family members, and I thought this was super cool. So you see here a 21st century tonoscope creates thousands of years old Hindu diagram of Om. The Sri Yantra mandala is the image of the Om mantra, the primordial Hindu sound of creation. When Om is intoned into a tonoscope, it produces first a circle. As the tone is completed, the circle is filled sequentially with concentric squares, triangles, and finally, as the dies away, you have the actual Sri Yantra pattern. This is why I keep going back to the whole Indus Valley civilization being so high and having so much knowledge that's left over from perhaps all the way back to Lemuria, even past Atlantis and into Lemuria. This is ancient knowledge that science is now discovering. So this is so cool. This is like, Emoto's experiments on water. Well, this is the pattern of creation. This is the pattern of the creation of this entire manifestation right here. This is another reason why we recommend so strongly the Vedic mantras. Everybody that we work with, everybody has had a huge, huge benefit from doing the mantras on a daily basis. They really have. I mean, I've seen one comment where somebody that I don't know said it didn't do anything for them. But, who knows what their diet looks like? Who knows what medications they're on? All these things affect our consciousness. If you are eating a good, clean diet and avoiding, fluoridated water, GMO foods, avoiding too many frequencies, unplugging your router at night, turning that off, turning the phones off, turning the computer off. One of our family members said to me, I kept seeing these dark orbs. And then I noticed they were coming out of the computer, they were coming out of the modem and the phones. And so I turned them all off, and then no more dark orbs. And we had a client that had really troubling energy. And I saw, like right before we started, right when we were calling, a huge dark orb the size of a basketball come out of the computer, in the router area. And then I saw another one, over on the other side of the room, and I felt this real dizzy wave, because it was these energetic, draconian, reptilian energies that were feeding off of this person and literally attacking us, and so it's all a battle of consciousness.
It is. That's so important to remember. We, when little things happen, little synchronicities, whether it be good or bad, you can believe us when we say there's a different level of information going on here that cannot necessarily be seen with the two eyes.
So there is a science called cymatics, which is about the translation of sound vibrations into visible patterns. And it's usually done by vibrating a fine powder or a liquid on a plate connected to a speaker, and the images that can be produced with different frequencies are complex and beautiful to look at. And they're like mandalas. And so, this is what Om is. And it is extremely powerful. If you just chant Om, that is a beautiful, powerful mantra. And again, you want to resonate it as you do it, so you really feel the vibrations. Amazing how science is always, well, lately it really has been. It's verifying the ancient mysteries. And I'll give you guys a link to this so you could read more into the Sri Yantra. It is, in one way, it's the divine feminine. It's the Shakti, because it's the manifestation. Where the Shiva is the consciousness that's behind it. And again, these are all labels, so it's nothing to get hung up about. It's not, the labels aren't important. We could call it Shekinah, if we want to. It's just a label. It's a human label. It's the frequency that's important. And we get that through emotions and intention.
Oh boy, are those emotions important too. They're getting to the point where we're so sensitive. Our emotions, thoughts are things, and we need to be mindful of these emotions and learn how to control them. That's the new upcoming way.
And so, we're going into an air sign, and air is going to be a lot faster moving. Everything that we can manifest, we can do it so much quicker. So, be very, very aware of that. The positive and the negative can be manifested much quicker now than they could have before, and that's only going to keep increasing. So we can change our direction at any time, and especially if we could get more and more people on this planet aware of the power of intent and of how to shed the dark yoke that has been upon us, things can change in a blink of an eye.
Oh, they can, and that's exciting to be able to see these things come into be manifested.
Yes. So we want to thank you guys for your support on Ko-Fi and Patreon. Anybody that needs to reach out to us and set up a time for an appointment, it's EEARTS at protonmail.com, or also you could reach us at evolutionaryenergyarts at gmail.com as well. As always, guys, God bless and namaste.
Namaste.